It tells me that, but everybody knows they're wrong.
This is 5.2.
Yeah.
So we're talking about MTS, Precal, HW 5.2. Guys, 5.2. So if we have 2 to the x, we know that we should know by now that anything raised, an exponent has a variable, then we know that it's what's called a exponential function. Okay? So for these exponential functions, we're going to talk about what's going on with the parent function. Okay? So with this parent function, okay, if I think about raising 2 to the 0, what is 2 to the 0?
0.
No.
2. My fault, Dan. My fault.
2 to the 0. 1. Thank you for listening.
You're both wrong. I even knew that, huh, Dan?
Okay? 2 to the 0 is 1. So when I take a look at 2 to the 0 as 1, then what I have here is an x is 0 and a y is 1. So at x is 0 and y is 1, I have a 1. And if I think about 2 to the 1, how much is that? 2 to the 1. How much is that?
2.
2. Okay? So at 1, I'm going to be at 2. What about 2 to the 2?
4.
So at 2, I'll be at 4. And it's just going to continue to go up, right? To infinity, right? Okay? Now, what happens when I talk about 2 to the negative 1?
Negative 2.
No. Come on, guys. Negative exponents. Flip. We just did this last week, right? They flip.
So would it be like, what do you mean, like 2 over 1? Or something like that? What do you mean?
It'd be, yeah, 1 over 2.
Oh.
Because this is really 2 over 1, and it flips it. So it becomes 1/2. So at negative 1, we're at 1/2. Right?
You are a hot mess.
What about at negative 2?
You're so funny.
Guys, just because someone walks in doesn't... What about at negative 2?
1.
2 over, yeah, it should be a flat 1, but
Wait, no, it'd be quarter.
It'd be 1 over 2 squared, which
I
is
didn't know how white you
a
were.
quarter. And then it would continue to get smaller, right? This would continue to get smaller.
yes.
So a quarter, an eighth, a 16th, a 32nd, a 1/64th. But would it ever reach 0?
How much is it in?
So
Like, what is it?
the limit here is 0. It will never reach 0. It'll get close, but it never reaches 0. So it has a limit of 0. There's the parent function for the top part. Is that recording at all?
No.
All right. So what happens to it negative? This should be really easy, right, Dante? So we should be able to do this. No problem.
I'm confused.
Okay?
Oh.
Now, if I have 2 to the 0, right? But now it's negative. So what is 2 to the 0?
1.
1. But now it's negative, so it's...
Negative
Okay? So now, all of these points are going the opposite way.
Is that even a pencil on you? Bless you. It's not even a blanket. It looks like a really, really long dress on you.
Okay? And in the other direction also.
You're beyond the
So it'll be coming very close to 0, but it'll never reach 0. Right, Dante? Right? It's never going to reach 0. So this is a parent function for 2's. In essence, this is a parent function for basically anything. They're all going to look like this. What's 15 to the 0 power?
Wait, what?
15 to the 0 power.
That's
1.
1. So they're all going to go through this point, right? It's just what's 15 to the first power?
15.
So it's going to go up quicker. It's still going to look like this. It's just going to go up quicker and down quicker. It'll never reach 0. Okay? When it's multiplied by a negative, it's flipped across the x-axis. Okay? Alright, so let's look at this at the 1/2. Before we can do 1, 3, and 5, we need to look at
You look like Vanilla Ice. That's alright. You're the albino version.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking. So, now, I'm trying to do f of x is equal to 1/2 to the x. 1/2 to the 0 is how much? 1. Okay? So, again, at 1, when x is 0, we're at 1 again, right? But what about 1/2 to the second power, or to the first power, right? What is 1/2 to the first? What is 1/2 to the second? What is 1/2 to the second power?
Nobody uses a quarter.
1.
I say
Quarter. Yeah. 1/4.
I'm not answering.
So, this one's coming up like this. But when we take it to the negative side, when we say that 1/2 raised to the -1, what is that?
It'll be -2.
No.
Negative.
Be flip it, guys. We talked about this just literally on the camera. Literally 5 minutes ago or less. We flip it. It's 2/1.
Oh, because the negative goes to the bottom, so it becomes positive. So it's
Okay.
positive.
Alright. And so this is going to go off to infinity. So the limit here is 0. As we approach infinity, we approach 0. As we approach negative infinity, we approach positive infinity. Okay? As we go negative infinity in the x direction, we go to the positive infinity in the y direction. The limit here, as we approach 0, or as we approach infinity in the x direction, we're going to approach 0. Okay? Now, this should be relatively simple. What happens, Dante, when you have a -1/2 to the 0 power? What is 1/2 to the 0 power? I just said it literally 1.5 minutes ago. Help him out, someone.
No.
One.
Thank you. Someone's listening. If it's negative, then it's -1. Okay? Right, Wyatt? I know you're still on your phone. It's much more important.
Now I'm gonna say on my phone.
Okay? That's fine. Okay, now as we go towards infinity, what's going to happen? 1/2 raised to the 15th power.
It's going to be steeper.
It's going to be very small, right?
Yeah, so we got 130.
Okay? What's 1/2 raised to the -2?
1/2 raised to -2.
Yeah. 1/2 raised to the negative 2. 4 over 1, good. 4, and if we negative that, it'd be negative 4, good. So this is coming down, right? These are your parent functions. Now when I say parent functions, you should start to think about some things. One, they're asking you, what happens to this? If we subtract 5 from it, what happens to it? Goes down how many?
5.
What goes down? The whole function? Yeah. The whole function, right? The function goes down 5. F of x goes down 5. The parent function, right? The parent function is this guy. What happens here? This is actually something you could answer.
Isn't it is it a compression?
So that's a good question. Is it a compression or is it a stretch? It is one of them. Why is it a stretch? What makes a compression? When we multiply by less than 1, right?
It's a stretch because, yeah.
It's a stretch because it's bigger than 1. This is a 3. Okay? Now, we don't have to flip it because we're not doing it to the x, right? We're not doing the opposite. We're doing it to the function, right? So it's the function is being multiplied by 3 or stretched by 3. What about this one? Dante. What about this one? Come on, this is the beginning of the year.
I never read the problem side. I just my notes.
What happens when you do something to the x? Which direction is x? Left or right? Both, right?
It's horizontal.
It's horizontal. So it's left and right. So, do we do the opposite to the x, or do we do exactly what we're told?
Yeah.
The opposite. So if it's plus 2, then it's really,
Minus 2.
so it's left or right?
Left.
Left. How many?
2.
Okay, left 2, and then what's this doing?
Down.
Down 5. Okay? And that's problems 1, 3, and 5.